So we actually did this earlier today live on stream where we went over all the raid weapons and their roles. What roles you should look for, as well as like the roles that intrigue us. Now we've already done like a Beyond Light weapons overview where we pretty much go over every weapon in this expansion, but we left out 2 sets of weapons. First up, the adept weapons for trials and the raid weapons. Now that they're officially out though, we can view them in the database and take a look at what these weapons have to offer. So first on the list, we have Heritage. This is a kinetic shotgun in that precision frame archetype, and a lot of us were questioning whether or not Heritage was going to take the place of first and last out, at least in terms of a DPS option. The curated role comes with reconstruction and recombination. First up, reconstruction actually doubles your magazine's capacity. So for instance here, without any magazine boosting perks, as assault mag right here doesn't actually boost our magazine size, reconstruction would actually double the mag here to 12. Extremely nice. We're going to talk about reconstruction a little more, especially with some of our other weapons, but fantastic for allowing you to do sustained damage. Next to it though, recombination, something that I realized today and I was really bummed out about, is that the increase in damage upon landing elemental final blows does not apply in PvP. Now I don't know the percentage of damage that you actually receive here with recombination, but I'm being told it only applies for 1 shot. Again, we have a lot of testing to do on these traits, but moving on to the random rolls. Being a slug shotgun, you kind of want a combination of things. For me, at least when it comes to just pumping out raw damage, probably my favorite roll of first in last out is a Vorpal weapon auto-loading trait combination roll. It's nasty. It allows you to just chain it with anarchy shots, and while you're swapping to your anarchy, your weapon will essentially auto-load itself. You have a auto-loading trait present here as well, but unfortunately, nothing in this final column outside of recombination is boosting our damage. Now, even though it doesn't come with Vorpal, which is pretty nice considering that Vorpal is a 15% buff, understand that this is a kinetic shotgun, meaning it already does 10% more damage than its energy variants. So when you think about it, you're actually only doing 5% less damage than a first and last out with Vorpal. So when we actually sit down and start comparing DPS values between both of these, I'm sure the way it's going to look like is first and last out will probably initially have higher DPS, but due to reconstruction doubling that magazine size, I think it's possible here that Heritage will overtake first in last out's damage. Now speaking of other perks, we've got a number of other traits that are also new. A trait combination I specifically have on one of my rolls is Dual Loader and Thresh. Not bad. Dual Loader actually reloads 2 shells at a time. Of course, it greatly kills your reload speed. Thresh actually allows you to gain super energy when killing combatants. You notice that pump action, remote control, all those perks that would give us super energy upon special weapon kills have been removed from the game. I honestly think they were removed to make way for Thresh. Now, I don't think Dual Loader is actually better than Reconstruction. I'm still trying to figure out at what point would I choose Dual Loader. Reconstruction is just so good. It auto-loads the weapon whether it's stowed or in your hand. But other trait combos that might make this weapon desirable for PvP players: Slide Shot, Snapshot, can't go wrong with it. You can also rock the Slide Shot moving target route. Normally though, I do prefer Opening Shot on any precision slug shotgun, so we'll see how this actually performs in PvP. Gonna be interesting to see what the damage testing is on Heritage. Moving on to this Sniper Rifle Succession. This is actually gonna be the first raid weapon we're gonna individually review. It's a kinetic sniper rifle in the aggressive frame archetype. It's meaty, fellas. We actually played with some God Rolls this afternoon. I don't want to ruin too much here, but its curated role comes with tactical mag, no distractions, and Vorpal weapon. Again, it's present in the kinetic slots, and it comes with Vorpal. It's a monster. On top of that, it comes with reconstruction. So you can swap out this curated role for a reconstruction Vorpal weapon combo. Hands down, probably the best PvE sniper in the game. Previously, Trophy Hunter was the winner, at least in my eyes. Succession, though, is probably going to be king. When we actually sit down and do DPS testing, the main thing that's going to come up is what's better, extended mag or tactical mag. One reaches that cap of 4 bullets in the magazine, while the other one reaches that cap of 4, but with backup mag, it extends to 5. That's extended mag. So with tactical mag, you can actually hold up to 8 rounds with reconstruction, and extended mag with backup mag, you can hold up to 10 rounds. We'll do some damage testing for sure. Either way it goes, if you get a reconstruction Vorpal weapon combination on this sniper rifle, for the love of God, keep that thing. Lock it immediately. Now for my PvP players, I did spend some time in PvP today, and it's okay. As sluggish as Cloud Strike was the other day in our review, Succession felt even slower. Granted, it is an aggressive frame archetype, but it also is in that 50 zoom territory. Hands down though, moving target snapshot, you can't ever go wrong with it. That's what I would rock. Again, big bummer recombination doesn't work in PvP because the first thing I wanted to test was if it could one-shot body shot with recombination, and it can't. Now moving on to our next weapon, we have Posterity. Oh, a lot of buzz about a hand cannon. Here's something about Destiny. No matter what, people will always click hand cannon videos just because they're sexy. And I gotta tell you, Posterity is quite sexy. What's not that sexy is that it's actually a 180 round per minute hand cannon. I know, I just completely killed it for you, huh? Now its curated roll comes with extended mag, Genesis, and one for all. One for all, which is a very good trait. We've seen it on special weapons, but to see it present here on a primary weapon is very intriguing. First up, hitting 3 separate targets increases damage for a moderate duration. And for something like a primary weapon, spamming a couple of shots into some ads, proccing something like one for all should be no problem, especially with a magazine boosting perk. I think with extended mag, you can get up to like 18 rounds in a magazine. As far as its random rolls though, I do want to talk about this new trait down here, Redirection. Damaging rank and file combatants increases damage against more powerful ones. I have not even gotten a weapon with that trait. I have no idea how much damage it actually increases, how it actually even compares against recombination, as well as one for all. I don't even know which one of those traits are the better trait, and whether or not Rampage is just better than both of them. We'll definitely be testing all of these side by side, but this weapon does come with Reconstruction, as well as a number of damage dealing traits, one for all, Redirection, Rampage. You can literally have 36 rounds in a magazine with this hand cannon with something like Reconstruction. That's kind of nutty. And if you wanted to go another round, you have a number of options here. Rapid Hit, Feeding Frenzy, 4 times the charm. Holy hell. Now for PvP players, I talked to Les about it earlier because he actually has the opening shot killing wind combo with like max range. He said despite this hand cannon being a 180 round per minute hand cannon, it feels really good. Again though, we have not actually tested ourselves. We're just going off of word of mouth. I will say most of these weapons do have the most satisfying red dot, which does play a role. I like fat reticles, fellas. I like them thick. But he said killing wind is fantastic, but it would be much better if you had a Rampage. I don't know. We'll see. We'll test it out when the time comes. Moving on to our next weapon on this list, TRUSTEE. Oh, a rapid fire frame scout rifle. You probably forgot these existed. Well, considering they've all been sunset outside of Symmetry, it's about time, right? It's an energy scout rifle though, shooting at 260 rounds per minute. This one comes with a curated roll, which is under pressure in redirection. A very confusing curated roll. But its random rolls actually look really, really good. First up, I want to lure you to a trait combination, Surplus and Wellspring. Surplus increases handling, reload speed, and stability for each fully charged ability. And on a rapid fire scout rifle, that's extremely nice. Considering there's 2 things that you desperately need on these rapid fire scouts: more stability and of course more handling. For some reason, Bungie gives like terrible handling to rapid fire weapons. But next to it is Wellspring. Kills with a weapon will generate ability energy. This energy is divided between your uncharged abilities. So you've got 2 traits here. One giving you benefits of having your ability. The other one essentially feeds back into your abilities when you get kills. That's a very intriguing weapon combination. It could be absolute crap. I have no idea. It won't be the first time we've had a new trait that has turned out to be dog crap. Anybody using air assault? No. Now some other trait combinations as well as the magazine perks. First up, I like steady rounds on these rapid fire frames for PvP. You could go accurized rounds to bump that range up a little more, and I would actually go the direction of either accurized rounds, Zim moment together, or steady rounds killing wind together. You see how I'm doing that? I'm not necessarily overcompensating for one thing over another. As long as we have 1 stability perk and 1 range perk, we should be good here. And in that final column, I think the best trait for PvP hands down will be opening shot. I cannot stress how much I hate the initial accuracy of rapid fire scout rifles. For some reason, it is poor. Opening shot should alleviate that, or at least hopefully. Now moving on to our next weapon, Commemoration. You are gonna love this machine gun. It's essentially 21% delirium all over again, but present in that adaptive frame archetype. Now the curated roll comes with tactical mag, feeding frenzy, under pressure, but I want to steer your eyes to the random rolls. This is where you're gonna fall in love with this machine gun. First up, yes, Reconstruction is present on a machine gun, meaning you can get a magazine boosting perk over here, cranking you up to 75 rounds in a magazine. And then with Reconstruction, you can load 150 rounds in 1 mag. On top of that, we've got Rampage here to pair perfectly with Reconstruction. Or you can just go Dragonfly if you want some AoE explosions. Throw on a Dragonfly spec, get nasty. Hands down, this is going to be the go-to machine gun for all PvE players. For PvP, I'd say Dynamic Sway Zim Moment with Moving Target will take care of you all day. And if you don't want Moving Target, just go Rampage. Hands down though, guys, that Reconstruction perk alongside Rampage and a magazine boosting trait is going to be crazy. Now, our final weapon, which is actually a sexy looking weapon, but unfortunately has arrived at a terrible time, is the legendary sword BEQUEST. Now, I say it's a terrible time for this sword to arrive because Limit just arrived, which has just destroyed every sword known to existence. But I want to spike your curiosity here, and this is kind of more aimed at hunters that like to move around really fast. The Curated roll comes with Killing Wind, which we've never seen on a sword before, and Assassin's Blade. Sword kills boosts movement speed and damage. Now, Killing Wind, we mainly get hung up on the weapon range buff that we get when landing a final book, but it also increases mobility. So that's stacked with Assassin's Blade and possibly stacked with, say, something like Dragon Shadow. You get where I'm coming from? You just run around like a ninja, freeze people with stasis abilities, chop them up, and boom, now you're like moving 3 times faster. If it doesn't stack, I'm gonna cry. Now, as far as the other traits down here, you do have Thresh present on the sword, which is pretty nice. Matter of fact, you can go Thresh surrounded together, which does sound like a pretty sexy combo. So guys, those are your raid weapons for the Deep Stone Crypt. Everything that we just did today, we're gonna be doing the exact same thing with the depth weapons this coming up Friday. That's right, we have a depth weapons coming. They're gonna have some added benefits over our normal trial weapons. Hopefully, what I'm hoping for is Bungie is actually gonna allow for normal trial weapons to drop with more frequency. That way people are more inclined to do trials. And then of course you've got a depth weapons being the pinnacle loot for those that go flawless. Guys, let me know in the comments below what you think of these raid weapons though. They all look really juicy, but hands down, the machine gun and the sniper rifle, oh my god. I want the God rolls for those weapons so bad. Again, we're gonna be reviewing Succession first, so be looking out for that. Fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
slap that like button like your mama told you right.